have almost covered this now. We've got this section and one more to go. And this section is a relatively short one. Before we start there, let's think about what we've covered so far. We've talked about what the application should do, about the data that's collected at the moment and the data that will need to be collected for the app to work. Also, the functions the app will do and the core and optional requirements we covered at the very start of this process. So this leaves us in this section to talk about the interface and accessibility options. So let's jump in and have a look at both of those now. For this subtask, you need to demonstrate that you have given consideration to how the interface will appear, how the app is actually going to look. And you're going to need to do some research, and that research will take the form of looking at websites or apps where you would do the same sort of actions that are going to happen in your app. So for example, booking a room, booking a venue, those sorts of things. You then need to talk about the general plan that you have. For example, your interface needs to be easy to use. And this is a bit like you writing a manifesto of what your app is going to look like. It is going to be clear. It is going to use the colours that Justin likes. It is going to be simple to use. It's going to be intuitive. You're going to have a consistent theme. And that means that page 1 is going to obviously be different from page 3 because the information presented and the information being input will be different, but there'll be a consistent feel. Think bbc.co.uk. The feel is consistent throughout the site. The colours will change depending upon whether you're looking at news, sport or weather or business, but the feel is consistent. So you will need to write down a list of manifesto items. This is how my app is going to appear. Once you've done that, and do some research into app design, there's plenty of information out there, and you can use that to try to inform your vision for how this app is going to look. And that's probably a useful word to put there. It's your vision, your manifesto. Once you've done that, I then want you to think about what you're going to do for the hearing impaired. Now, you should mention visually impaired, but clearly, if people are blind, they're not going to be taking driving lessons. However, you do want to consider how your app is going to be useful for people with disabilities. And it's really important that you do that, because if the moderator feels you haven't taken that on board, then there's a chance that they would fail you on this task, and again as a P task that would write off this entire unit. So we've also got the physical disability. Now it may well be that there's nothing that you can actually do for one of these, but you do need to state that you've considered it. So that's all you need to do for this one, is talk about your vision. More specifics, a diagram would be fabulous. Hasn't got to be a particularly detailed one, but a very simple wireframe, even if hand-drawn, photographed and then put in there, just demonstrates that you have given some thought into how you want your app to finally look.